Well, hello. Can I go in there? No. I guess we're just gonna go check the Ferris wheel again. What do you got? So in the end, the ticket we picked up turned out to be meaningless? So it seems. I suppose my intuition failed us at this time, Luke. Come, let's head back to the heart of St Mystere and search for our next lead.
What on earth?
Professor!
Get away, Luke! Run!
You're right! Oh, they keep chasing after us!
That's preposterous! Blast.
They immediately dispelled the idea that it could be possessed or something by just showing him with the freaking radio control. Well, there goes that place that was locked up, I guess. Well. Q. I like the detail that all the water was showering on them, and there was a rainbow in the corner during that, like just a little thing to throw in there. Well, why would the Ferris wheel? Professor, look what happened to the shed. The Ferris wheel must have simply destroyed it. If we'd made a wrong step back there, we'd be rubble too. Oh my. I think I found something here, Professor. What could it be? Now what's an entrance to the sewers doing here? This could well be an underground passage to the tower. We've got to take a look below. Come. I'm right behind you, Professor. Try to keep me out of this place. Here we go. I hope I don't trip. This place is pitch black. Brr, and it's cold too. Watch your step, Luke. Look for anything suspicious or out of place, like the entire place we're in. Also, I didn't click on this. I wonder why the Ferris wheel tried to run us down. I don't think it tried to. It's not alive, Luke. It's not a ghost. Look, there's a sort of stone tablet embedded in the wall. This is clearly some kind of puzzle. I'd wager the solution will tell us the direction in which to proceed. I guess when you're a hammer, all you see is nails. The path you are on forks to the left and right in front of the sign seen below. Your gut feeling tells you that this sign reveals the direction you need to go. Find an arrow within the picture, like the yellow one, on the side of the board. When you find it, draw a line around it as neatly as possible. Keep in mind that the arrow you are searching for may not be the same size as the one pictured below. So it's just like an optical illusion, or just a really distracting piece of noise to just hide the fact that there's just a regular arrow just hanging out in there somewhere. Somewhere. It could be pretty big, but it's presumably the same shape. That's kind of important, right? Because all those lines sticking everywhere are diagonal, and they're all at different angles. So The square part of the arrow must be made out of the grid, right? It couldn't be made out of the other diagonal lines because they wouldn't line up so perfectly. I thought this was it for a second. But there's no, like, bottom part of the arrow. That looks like it. Probably was kind of diagonally. It might have been. Yeah, that's probably a mistake. I was a little too quick on the click. Or maybe I also might have not traced neatly enough. Probably not though. The bottom of the arrows too. Actually, no. I should have just gone all the way down here, huh? Really?
I suppose I thought wrong.
How do I know when I'm tracing neatly? How do I know if I'm wrong because I'm wrong, or if I'm just not tracing neatly enough? That's kind of not a good ambiguity I want to deal with. We've previously drawn lines that snap to a grid, so why wouldn't you do it here? What if it's like diagonal or something? I'm trying to focus on any... Just any intersection between the diagonal lines that might create the head of the arrow. There's so many places to check. Said, are you having fun yet? I like the part where he stared at a grid for a long time. Oh, there it is. Sneaky. And it's even shaped. Yeah, it's even the right height.
Luke, here's my answer.
Da-da-da-da. See, the last one I saw, the first one I drew had a kind of diagonal, uneven base, and the next one was too long. But that one's perfect. I think you're drawn to all the chaos on the left side of the screen, so looking over there is like, oh, whoa, there it is. Just in the open. Almost as plain as could be. There's our answer. We will proceed down the left corridor. Understood, Professor. Where are you finding all this stuff and how are you sending it back? Looks unhealthy to be in here. I guess it is probably just moss and not like a bunch of mold necessarily. Also, mold is a variable dangerousness and whatnot. Look, Professor, there's a strange device on the door here. It seems to be a puzzle of some sort. I imagine the door won't open until we solve it. It's almost like we're being tested, isn't it? Can you get the red ball out of the maze? No! They put one of these on the mandatory path? Bro, this isn't even optional. Boop.
There we go.
Whoa!
Another puzzle solved.
Okay, there we go. Fantastic, you did the sliding tile puzzle. I need to stop calling them sliding tile puzzles. It's not what they are. The other one's a sliding tile puzzle, the one I haven't done. Unblock Me is more bearable, but I'm also like really? Every time it shows up in a game. That should do the trick. We're getting really close to finishing this painting. I'd be curious to know whether or not the painting and gizmo pieces are attached to specific puzzles, or if they're just kind of like given to you periodically. One more painting piece. Wow, I certainly didn't expect a room down here. Let's give it a thorough once-over. Something isn't right about this place. I can feel it in my bones. Click. 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 Something's hidden behind here. Alright, let's move the picture out of the way then. In other words... What's this here? It appears to be some sort of key. What does it unlock? We won't know until we investigate further. But this shape certainly looks familiar. Professor, could this be? It looks just like the tower. I wonder what it could be the key for. I knew there was something odd about the dead end. Perhaps this key will shed some lights on things. Ha 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 ha, because we're in a shed. Look, we need to head back to that large wall on the north side of St Mystere. I have a hunch it's more than a dead end. People live in that direction. Like, of course the neighborhood doesn't just end there. There's clearly more houses that people would be in. These chapters are getting really short all of a sudden. We might be rocketing towards the finale. Look at how old this picture is. Oh, right. That reminds me of a good one. Would you like to hear it? No, Luke. I hate your stories. The large shape below is made up of a pattern. A section of the shape has been removed. Of the options A, B, C, and D, which one should you insert into the large shape to complete the pattern? Those are just diagonal lines. Okay. So half the challenge is just that it's hard to look at them? Because they're all rotated and stuff? Can you flip them? Would they be flipped? Well, there definitely should be there should be 3 orange here and 3 X's there. So, yeah, so it's one of these two, because those ones have 3 orange and 3 X's. But something's up. You flip it over. And this X will be the point. Yeah, it's B. Okay. Just hard to look at, I guess. Look at we go. Gee, I didn't think it would be that easy. What a curious face. All the poor flowers in it are wilted. It's an abandoned nightmare place. Ouch, hot, hot, hot. He touched the fire? I wonder what this room is for. You could just keep touching it and make her just keep burning more. Ah, doggy. That tiny little rock was a secret. Okay. Just... Oh. Damn. That little spot was surprisingly dense with some stuff. Based on how the camera's oriented, it suggests that we're walking backwards out this entire place. Let's go investigate that dead end right away. Alright, Luke, but first let's make a quick stop by the inn. There's something I need to check on there. Why the inn, Professor? It seems that someone doesn't want us around, Luke. Someone is, in fact, after us. And the key to identifying this scoundrel is back at the inn. So you already have an idea about who's behind this? Haha. Piqued your interest, have I? Chapter 8, The Shadowy Intruder. Someone's been obstructing the investigation. Find the troublemaker and continue work on the case. I will save. The angry man has no puzzles for me. A new chapter has begun, so I don't trust any of yous guys. Any one of you could be out to get me with a new puzzle. Ah, fuck. I think they're drying up a bit. Hello, Professor. Is something the matter? You look a little shaken. Beatrice, I have an urgent request. Could you show me the newspapers for the last couple of days? The papers? Certainly. Hang on for just a moment while I go fetch them for you. That's strange. I'm sure I set them down around here somewhere. Is there a problem? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't seem to find them anywhere. Even today's morning paper seems to have gone missing. There seems to be a monster loose that eats paper. I see. Well, thank you just the same, Beatrice. This has been most helpful. Just what was in those papers anyway, Professor? Yoo-hoo, Professor Layton! Raymond, and to what do we owe this visit? Oh, he told me I needed to find you and bring you to Reinhold Manor. The inspector, I mean. He and Lady Dahlia await your arrival at Reinhold Manor. Thank you for the message. We will set out for the manor in just a few moments. No puzzles? You thought we were going to the tower, but we're actually going to everywhere else instead. You've found the key to the tower, haven't you? How do you know about the key? You mustn't interfere with the tower. Whatever you do, just stay away from there. Interfere? What do you mean by that, dear? Okay. Thanks for your visit. Who stays here? Jar puzzle. I think she has some gray hair, so she is supposed to be older. She just looks the same, mostly. Lady Dahlia's requests are always such a handful to take on, aren't they? Ah, hello. Get a coin. I will never use the coins. Except for that time before. Welcome back, Professor Layton. Please come in. Everyone's waiting. Thank you, Matthew. Is something troubling you, my good man? You seem ill at ease. Oh, no, I'm fine, sir. Please make your way to the parlor. All right. If you're certain that nothing is the matter, we'll head upstairs. Ah, Mr. Layton. Thank you for arriving so promptly. Come, have a seat. Why have you called us here, Inspector Chelmy? Like you, I'm not the kind of man who beats around the bush, so I'll just come out with it. I'm on to you, Layton, it's clear as day. You are responsible for Simon's death. Are you suggesting I murdered Simon? That's a weird smile to have after you're accused of murder. Makes it seem like you should be accused of murder. Nonsense. Nice, Layton. I have to admire the way you keep cool under pressure. Normal laugh. But of course, I would expect nothing less from a cold-blooded killer such as yourself. Why do you look like you're hiding a painting in your jacket? I don't suppose you've seen this before, eh? This vase was on display in the room in which Simon was found dead. All the forensic evidence I've gathered suggests that the killer struck Simon with this vase. Our killer is no professional. You see, he left his fingerprints all over the murder weapon. Fingerprints that match your own, Mr. Layton. Objection! Oh, that's the vase from the market, isn't it? You rotten murderer. You touched a thing that anyone in the room could have touched. If this vase is evidence, why did you just break it like it was nothing? Because he's framing us. So we can't find out who else's fingerprints are on it. So go on and give me an alibi, Layton. Where were you when Simon was killed, eh? Come on, out with it. I don't remember. I was with Luke, investigating matters down in the village. Is it the best you could muster? It's clear the little brat is an accomplice to your crime. Yeah, but there's probably like a dozen witnesses, because we bother everyone every day. Admit it, Layton. You two wanted to keep the golden apple so badly you conspired to murder Simon. You can't fool me, Layton, so cough it up and start talking. This feels like a reference to that Sherlock Holmes story about the diamond, and everyone kills each other over the diamond every time anyone tries to get it. Or was it pearls? I think it was pearls. Something like that. It was just a stone. While I'm at it, I'll take the key to the tower. I'll take the key to the tower you picked up, too. How does everyone know about that already? It seems you are intent on pinning this crime on me, Inspector. But if you are a true enforcer of the law, you'll acknowledge that I'm not the only reasonable suspect. Any member of this household could have committed the crime. In fact, you can't even rule out the possibility that everyone here had a hand in the murder. Furthermore, are you even sure that a murder took place here? What kind of nonsense are you spouting now? Do you really think anyone here is fooled by your crackpot theories? Inspector Chelmy, I'm beginning to think the only person with something to hide is you. That's absurd. This has nothing to do with this has nothing in the slightest to do with me.
No, Inspector, it has quite a bit to do with you.
Meaning?
Isn't it obvious?
If there is any criminal element involved in this case, then it is you, sir. What? That's absurd.
Hey, calm down!
What ought Utter rubbish! You'll need more than some death charge to save your hide.
I've heard you're quite the devoted husband, Inspector. I bet you take very good care of your wife, Amy. Why does that sound like a threat? It sounds like you're gonna put a hit on your wife, on his wife. Be a shame if anything happened to her at the cake shop. Luke and I found this article in the paper. Luke, what was the Inspector Chelmey's favorite food again? Oh, is he impersonating him? It was cakes, right? Not sandwich. This article specifically states that you love sweet potato fritters. And yet you raged at poor Matthew when he brought you sweets with tea. Why? And your point is, it just so happens I have a fondness for Amy's sweet potato fritters. Is that so? Thank you, Inspector. This little conversation has made things quite clear. Please take a look at this. I believe you just called them Amy's sweet potato fritters, yes? I'd like everyone to look at this article. As you can see, the article clearly states that the Inspector Chelmey's wife is Amelie, not Amy. Do you mean to tell me that you've forgotten your own wife's name? Out with it then. Who are you? And why have you been impersonating Inspector Chelmey? And why have you been running this investigation? Germ. But your sudden memory loss regarding your wife's name isn't the only suspicious thing about you. Try to recall the time around Simon's death. You said you received a report that prompted you to come to St Mystere, but you forgot one thing. After Luke and I came to town, the drawbridge that is St Mystere's sole entrance had its crank stolen. This effectively sealed the village. From that point on, no one could enter or leave the village. Do you recall just when this seclusion began? During our search for Claudia? Correct. The only route out of the village had been closed well before Simon's death was discovered. After that event, there was no way that anyone outside the village could enter. By the same token, there was no way to take things out of the village, particularly something as large as a corpse. So, tell me, Inspector Chelmey, when did you actually set foot in St Mystere? And furthermore, what did you do with Simon's remains? He just unhinged his jaw and swallowed them whole like a Komodo dragon, or whatever those giant lizards are. While we're on the subject, I have one more nagging question that I haven't been able to figure out. How is it you knew about the key to the tower we discovered? When we happened upon that key, there wasn't a soul in the area save for Luke and myself. I mean, he's definitely the bad guy, like just in disguise. Furthermore, I have spoken of what we found there to no one. There's no conceivable way you could have known about this key. Unless, of course, you were spying on us from the shadows when we picked it up. Now, let me see if I've got this role right. You posed as the inspector and used Simon's death as an excuse to enter Reinhold Manor. Since then, you've been waiting for a good ideal time to strike and steal the golden apple from us. How am I doing so far?
Yes, my evil laugh again. I'm the good guy.
What's so funny? This is no laughing matter.
I'm just astounded at how despicable I find you, Layton. But that's exactly why you're worthy of being my archenemy. I've always despised you, Layton.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be able to crush you once and for all here in St Mystere. But that will have to wait, since you saw through my disguise. You haven't caught on yet, but St Mystere hides a secret of epic proportions. while I imagine a dimwit like you trying to unravel the mystery. I just have to smile. My business here for the day has come to an end, so I'll be off now. But listen closely, Layton. Never forget how close you came to being bested.
You weren't. It was easy.
One day I, the great Don Paolo, will rain my vengeance down upon you.
Is the joke that he's a really bad villain?
And on that fearful day, you will beg for an umbrella and a raincoat because of all the rain, get it? Perhaps even some galoshes. Gosh.
Why?
I guess he's gone. Do you know who that man was? Don Paolo is his name. I've heard stories of him. His grasp of the hard sciences was rumored to be unrivaled. The problem, as you might guess, was his personality. Though he was a genius, the man was evil. That's just a thing people are. They're just evil. The science board banished him from working officially in his field ever again. Sneaking into St Mystere to steal the Reinhold fortune sounds like the kind of scheme he would hatch. He seems to hold quite a grudge against you, Professor. What did you do to cross him? I haven't the slightest idea, Luke. Well, that aside, what was all that talk of a secret hidden in the village? What was he talking about? I'm mystified by it myself. For the time being, though, let's focus on finding the golden apple, shall we? Which is probably the same secret, or related to it, and whatnot. I say we follow our newest lead and head back for that tower. Let's check that dead end from before, Luke. It was me, the incredibly pointless villain. The end. You beat me. See you in chapter 9. Oop. We solved a mystery. I don't think I do anything to solve these. I think this is just all the main story, aren't they? But apparently that's what Chelmy was. I guess now that we've laid up all of the pins, and now we're gonna start knocking them down, which is fitting because there's 10 of them, like in bowling, like in bowling.